Hi everyone, this is Melissa. How are you guys?
Hi.
My question is coming from a series and doing two movies. Was there any challenges in coming up with this next series that you can tell us about?
Just the first one that really was the key to everything was, well, why would he have to be a baby again? That's the question you can't make a series without. And once we figured out this idea that well, let's frame him for a crime and put him on the run. Suddenly, the minute that idea struck, it was, oh, you know what? Now I see the whole show. Everything makes sense. There's a reason why the family has to take him in, even though some of them may not be super happy about that. And there's a reason he has to go back to work. It just everything fell into place. And once we turned that key, it was, I want to say smooth sailing. I'm sure it wasn't, but smooth enough.
So this is for JP. How kind of in like the last question, how would you say this series was different voicing, or was there any more I don't know, excitement in this series than it was in the past, or more most fun parts, kind
I
of?
think this is weird, but I think a lot of the exciting parts of this series was seeing other characters kind of take over the role that I used to play or the role that Boss Baby used to fill within his field team, and seeing like where Tina was going with it and where the other ones. And the interesting thing for me was less something I was doing with my voice and more just playing a character who's finding that it isn't always about him and that there are other people that need to shine in their roles. So that was fun. I think my biggest, kind of like we were talking about with the pandemic, my biggest regret is not being able to see Mary Faber do that live in the room, because she's so good. And Tina really does, come to life in this as a great leader.
My question is, did you guys implement a lot of, I know it's about embezzlement and everything like that, to put it into a kid-friendly show where they can understand for different ages, I guess you can say. I have everywhere from a teenager to a 7-year-old and some in between. So how did you go about making a show about embezzlement, which is kind of a, I know my 7-year-old absolutely loves Boss Baby, but how do you get that so they can kind of understand it in a way? I don't know if that makes sense a little,
It
what
does.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
no,
to
that's a
say.
great question.
Okay.
Well, there's little tricks that you learn in writing to kind of reinforce ideas without trying to be too obvious. And one of them happens in that first episode where we've mentioned embezzlement several times, in that opening scene, and then the board of directors of Teddy's company, who framed him and who did the real embezzling, say, "No, bro, we didn't embezzle anything. All we did was take company money and buy stuff that we wanted." And Boss Baby said, "That's what embezzling is, you morons." Um, and so that little things like that are just kind of the way of saying, okay, we're going to explain this concept to you. We'll walk you through it because we want you to be able to keep up and know what's going on here. But in a way, anytime it's rooted in emotions like that, anytime it makes a character upset or frustrated or anything comedic, these are the ways that you can get that information out in a way that anybody can understand, I hope.
Thank you.